Okay, so I completed one, and now I'm going to complete this one. And seeing as the other side of the page was gold, let's have a look at it in this light. Whoa. I thought I might be a little bit of a cheat and outline this one in my gold pens. And I know it's hard to see. Let's see if we can get this a little bit closer, a little bit brighter. Yeah, that's a bit better. But I'm doing it freehand, so wish me luck. So I'm going to do the crosses and almost holding my breath. And then I'm going to add some colour in a second. So by doing the crosses, it gives me a place to head to for all the points, because they seem to be all emanating from a cross or heading to a cross. So therefore put these in, and then it'll help with my other lines. And I might do those with a ruler. Let's see how it tickles me. But this is a Pebeo 4Artist marker. It's the smaller size nib, 2mm, which is sometimes hard to find, but the usual ones that I find. Okay, so as soon as the pen starts not being so fluid, it's time to just change it, because I've given them all a super duper shake, but it needs to literally look as though it's going down wet and drying before my very eyes. And if it's not, then I need to switch it. Now this one seems to be a different colour. Oh, we'll see. It's not as shiny. Not very good cross. Okay, I'm going to try this last one, see if this is any better. Oh yeah, this is shiny. When I say certain words, it's like my speech is like a certain person. China. Shiny. If you know who I'm talking about, apologies to mention him. But yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn my book upside down because it's really hard to do all of this the right way up. Yeah, like so. And let's just do that. Okay. So the reason why I wanted to do gold is because the page next door is very gold. So I thought it'd be fitting to have them unified, flowing from one page to the other. Okay, last line of crosses. In another life, I'd love to be an illustrator, like to be able to draw little figures and creatures and comical things. Like just a few strokes and you're done. That sort of thing. Okay, turn it back around. And so what I want to do is now draw the long lines that are connecting them, between them. I'll start off in this top corner. And actually, I'm going to use a ruler because it'll add back in that uniformity and that neatness that I've removed. Yeah, so that sort of idea. And if I do them all in one direction, it will hopefully maintain my accuracy, because I'm keeping my ruler parallel every time. Oh, this is fun. This is a great idea. I don't think I would have enjoyed this if I did this without a ruler. It would have been more trepidatious. That's a word. Oh, super duper. I'm just going to do this edgy one and this edgy one. And there should be one edgy one up here. There we go. And now I'm going to go in the opposite direction. Let's see how I can do it super systematically. And when you're using these pens, you've got to really resist pressing hard. Like, it's so delicate, it's so delicate a nib that the ink's just there. So try not to be too hard with it. Don't press too hard. Okay, I'm not going to do that one. I was like, what's the flow here? Oh, this is really fun. I said that so deadpan. This is really fun. But I'm concentrating as well, so forgive me. Oh, yeah. There we go. So now I've got to just do the horizontals. Okay, I might just give this a little bit of a clean and a press. Yeah, let's get it flowing again. And so, yeah. That scratchy noise. I should have a microphone attached to my hand or something so you can really hear the... Okay, let's start over here because it's easier to see. Super satisfying. I just spotted one rogue line here. Okay, so I think I'm doing my last lines and then I'm going to add some colour. I'm very excited about the colour because now that these lines are down, I can be quite carefree. And because they're ink-based gold lines, the watercolours can resist a little. Not resist a little, they just resist, they don't merge. Okay. I think that's done. That was really one of the ones that I was potentially scared of doing, but I did it. And so I'm going to put this underneath so my painting underneath is not affected. I think the light's a little bit more even now, which is good for you. Good for you. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I'm just going to move my camera. Let's just pause. Okay, so I put some paper underneath because I want to flood this page with kind of a rosy red, and let's see how it goes. So I'm going to load up my brush. I'm using a big mop brush. I'm really kind of working in the water, and then once that water's down, I'm going to potentially drop in some pink rose and see how it goes. So wetting it all. And kind of making sure I go all the way to the edge. So I'm putting the paper there to almost make sure I go to the very edge because it will get wet in me doing so. I can actually see some dry bits. So just change those. Okay. So I'm going to switch to a slightly smaller brush, and I'll show you if I can what I'm going to do. So wet this and put in a little bit of colour. I'm going to get a palette, bear with. Okay, so I'm going to put in some water and some lovely rose colour and really work it into the brush. And I think it's going to definitely spread, but it's going to be probably a little bit more of an even spread because of the fact that it's wet. So it's kind of going to be an easier way to get an even colour. And the paint I'm dropping in is already mixed. It's not me going to the pan. It's quite pink. Let's see how that works. I think I might swatch to a bigger brush in a second. Swatch to, switch to. Okay, let's see. Okay. Now I do want some intense bits and I do want some blue bits as well. So I'm going to let it dry. I've just spotted something which is a really nice sort of a shape, an octagon and another octagon. So what I'm going to do is try to bring out these shapes and hopefully it'll make sense. So these innermost shapes I'm going to paint quite intensely. And then the outer ones are going to be a little bit lighter. So hopefully it will emphasize this octagonal shape that I'm seeing. Because we know that the tile, when we drew it, there's an octagonal shape within that. Now I'm going on to the gold, and I'm hoping when it dries, it will sort of resist and not become part of it. Let's see. Yeah, it usually does. And if not, I can always go over it with a gold pen to bring back the goldiness. So let's put that in. Okay, so I'm going to leave that blank for the moment, but you can see this leakiness. Let's keep an eye on it and see what's happening. And we will change up in a second. The next sort of shape is going to be a little bit more watered down. So I'm just going to grab like a pipette. Oh, I feel like, there we go. Here's my paint. And just a little bit of colour. Not as intense as that. And then I'm going to put in this outer shape that I'm seeing. There we go. I could even do it with a bigger brush, but let's see. Am I seeing it? Yeah, I am seeing it. There it is. Because it now incorporates these other shapes, it's not an absolutely regular octagon, but it is there. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know why I started all the way right beside me, because I've got to paint all the way around my page. Makes more sense to do it a little bit. Now, when I'm doing intensities and different values, if they are not showing their value, then I can always redo a shape, make it more intense. So the center might have to end up being coated with another bit of paint, but hopefully you can see there's a nice. So now I need to turn upside down. I hate this. Ugh. It's not dramatic. But I need to move things around. There we go. Flaps. Okay. So here we go. I was about to paint in the wrong shape. Oh. Lovely. Okay. And again, I was about to paint in the wrong shape. It's all, I can see something now in my mind's eye, and it's so satisfying to sort of execute it on the paper. Okay. So hopefully we can see that there's this ring of octagon surrounded by an octagon. But the center is super, needs to be super intense. So I'm just going to give it another coat of this pink. And do the same in all of them. And hopefully we can see a difference between the inner and the outer. Let's do this one as well. I might have to just go back to the original one, that one. Okay. So I've got an inner one, I've got an outer one. We've got all these shapes in between. And what I might do actually is paint this, and this in this pinky watery colour. And then I might introduce the blues. Let's see how we go. It's quite nice. Although again, I'm having to paint weirdly because it's all the way up here. There we go. I actually feel like painting this shape as well, but I might keep it for a second. And now I'm going to introduce a tiny bit of blue into the pink so it becomes purple. And we're going to we'll add it in here first, and just a little bit more. There we go. So yeah, ultramarine and this rose bring out some beautiful shades of purple in between. And I'm going to do the same in the center, but more intense. And then a really watered down, hopefully, version around the edges. And then I'll leave the rest. There we go. This is a bit more watery, so just balance it out. And then for the center, a really nice intense bit. So let's just mix up a nice deep purple and see if it is purple. A little bit more purple. Not very purple, but it's intense, so that's fine. Okay. So I think I need to let it dry and then make some decisions. Now that it's dry, I can see some of the ink is not as neat as I would like. So I'm just going to redo those shapes because it looks nicer and I can make a better decision as to what I want next once this issue is fixed. And I can see a little bit better what's going on. So yeah, I can see that it's going to look nice. I think it's going to look nice, but we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Mhm. Okay, let's zoom out and see. I think I might just leave it like that. It looks quite, what's the word, light, but I'm not ready to make any decisions about it. So I'm going to move everything out of the way so we can see what's going on. So, oh, I didn't add the tracing paper. I need to add it on the next page. So this came from this drawing and my tracing of it. I should have put it here, but I should have put it there, but oh well. It was a fun thing to do. Nice. They're so similar, aren't they? Mmm, delicious. Okay, I'm going to stick it in, but yeah, hopefully it looks a nice, delicate, lovely thing.